everybody. This is a video response to the Blue Flamingo's video about ghost stories. You know, I don't really like ghost movies and horror movies, and I don't like that genre of books. I don't like to be scared. I like science fiction. Science fiction is right up my alley. I'm a real big science fiction fan. I like hard science fiction. But this horror stuff and scary stuff, I don't like it. I haven't since I was a kid. And it may be because of this. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, we lived in a 2-story apartment. We lived on, it was only 2 apartments, one downstairs, one upstairs. And my dad worked the hoot owl. That was the midnight shift, midnight to 7 or 8, whatever it was. And mother, you know, my sister was what, 3, 2 or 3. I was either 4 or 5. And we, you know, we slept in the same bedroom and everything. And mother had put us to bed. And I guess Dad had got off to work, and I woke up one night, and at my window was a man, an old man. He had no slouch hat on, like an old farmer, had real piercing blue eyes, and it scared me. And I walked in the living room, and I said, "Mother," I called my mother, "Mother." I said, "Mother, there's a man at my window." And she said, "Oh, Susan," yeah, because she called me Susan. "Oh, Susan, you're just dreaming. You didn't see anything." She said, "Here, let me take you back to bed." So, honey, she walked me back to the bedroom, and when she got to the door, she seen the man at the window, too. There was a man at the window. And we lived on the upper part of the 2-story. We lived on the 2nd floor. So, you know, after we talked about this years later, she said, she said when she seen that man, she said, we had those roll out type of windows, you know, they come out like that. She said, "I'll just go over there and roll that window out and make him fall off that ladder." You know what I mean? So that's what she was going to do. And she flipped on the light, and the man disappeared. Yeah, he disappeared, and my mother went to the window. There wasn't nobody there. She called the police. They come out. There wasn't no ladder back there, no ladder prints, and we lived on the side of a riverbank, and it was damp back there. That happened when I was a little girl, and it's always stayed with me. It always has stayed with me. And then when I was about 16, it's only happened 2 times in my life. When I was about 16 years old, we had moved to my mom and dad had bought a house, and it had upstairs too. And my sister's house was against the hillside, and it was always cooler back there. And at that time, we didn't have air conditioner in our house. You know how it was back then. And so she had a big old double bed too, and I had a twin bed. Mine was on the front side of the house. And that's where the sun struck all day long, you know. It was a sunny bedroom, but it got hot. And sister's bedroom was against the hillside, and her bedroom always stayed cool. So, I said, "I'm going to sleep with you tonight, sis." So, you know, crawled into bed with her, and it was, I don't know what time it was. I heard somebody come up the steps. We had old wooden steps, and they creaked. And of course, I don't know if my mom and dad were split up. Yeah, they had to be split up. They had to be divorced by this time. And I thought, wonder why mom's coming up the stairs. Well, I didn't pay no attention, you know. And I had my eyes closed. And anyway, I opened my eyes, and there was a woman standing over me. And my mother was gray-headed by the time she was in her late 30s. I mean, she was gray-headed. And I said, "Mother, you scared me to death." And that woman just looked at me. It was dark, and I assumed it was my mother. You know what I mean? And I said, "Mother, you scared me to death." And she just looked at me. Didn't say a word. And honey, I just got them covers and pulled them up over my head and just kept them there all night. You know, eventually fell asleep. I was just paralyzed with fear. And the next day I said, Mother, I said, you scared me to death. Why didn't you talk to me when you come upstairs last night? She said, I wasn't upstairs last night. Yeah. Freaky. So that's my two ghost stories. And my mother's family, every one of them has seen things. I've got some good stories. How they have seen things as a collective family. I mean, I'm talking probably 10 or 15 of them. Being on a porch and looking up in the sky and seeing things. You know, and then... But, you know, I don't know if you've ever heard about the daughter, the seventh daughter of the seventh daughter. My mother was that. My mother was the seventh daughter. And my mother was born with a veil over her face. She had skin or something. I really don't understand it, but they had to clip, she had a veil over her face. They had to clip a membrane or skin or something. I mean, she was perfectly normal, but she did have that over her face. I don't know what that means. But my mother's family was a little bit freaky. Freaky and fun. But anyway, that's my ghost story. I hope a lot of people tell their ghost stories. I'm sure there's people out there that's got them, for sure. But anyhow, this is Melissa reporting again from out of the holler. Bye, everybody.